one game up and see Ezreal.
Ban Ezreal, there you go. Okay, so first ban right off the bat. Now it's probably going to be the pair of junglers as well. Svenskeren's been playing Graves for so long, though. That was his favorite champion before the nerfs, and already showed he will have no reluctance playing that again. Jump right back onto it.
Yeah, CLG actually adapting a lot after that first game.
Speed, too much speed.
2 bans already. Yeah, they'll ban
up.
away the Karma as well. We'll see if TSM stick to the script here. They will ban away Ryze, so again, another very standard, powerful champion.
All right, let's see what they top it off with here. A Sivir ban? No speed for anyone?
I'm sure there's some speed left. We'll have to see. I mean, CLG have already sort of said we don't want to ban away popular champions here. They tried that in game 1, certainly didn't work out, so maybe another reactive ban after game 1 here?
Yeah, I'm also wondering if they're willing to first pick Kindred. I think they are for Xmithie. And so they might just focus on, I would say the Maokai would be a good ban, but they go for the Graves here to get a pinch on the jungle.
And now TSM have to think,
daring
we have to ban Kindred, right?
I mean, the thing is, if you ban Kindred, right, then they're going to take the Rek'Sai, and I think Svenskeren just goes Elise. I think they'd be much happier with that. CLG, I think, might be a little bit scared of the Hauntzer Maokai.
Maybe, but they will ban Kindred.
Well.
TSM take that away, so an awful lot of junglers banned away this time, 3 in total. We'll cut the pull down by 1. We saw Rek'Sai before for Xmithie. At least the other one you mentioned is certainly open. We'll see what CLG want to take first here, but a lot of the other picks they, didn't want to leave open in game 1. They've actually now left over to TSM. I think Zed maybe sticks out.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of other power picks as well.
So now my question is this going to be a top lane first pick? Ekko and Maokai are both up, so those people are pretty happy to play both sides of that. So I don't know if that's going to be the focus. The Lucian that you mentioned, maybe they... Whoa! With the Elise up? Interesting.
Yeah, they take first pick Rek'Sai. A lot of priority on the jungle there. But TSM probably happy to have other jungle picks available. I think banning Kindred, they knew, okay, they're probably going to take a jungler away. Maybe not the one they expected. But we'll see what they take here. Lucian definitely jumps out, but TSM have 2 strong picks to make here with CLG reacting very heavily to the first game's loss.
Yeah. All right, well, even hovering over the Gragas here instead of Elise, so maybe she does not even show up in the game. But that Maokai we talked about, definitely going to be big for TSM. They like to play around team fighting. Maokai, great team. Oh, just kidding. Could be a mid lane Ekko. It's still a possibility of Maokai coming through.
Ekko and Lucian, they were other picks, so swapping them up from the tanks they hovered and straight back into more of their solo laners here. I think DoubleLift should be back on the Lucian after having a player of the game performance on it, but Hauntzer is going to mix things up, or like you said, potentially flex that over to Bjergsen. We'll see what CLG want to answer here with picks 2 and 3.
Very interesting, because if CLG take it, like we talked about a little bit before, the other benefit of the sort of mid-game spike Lucian build with the Black Cleaver, you shred armor really well on the front line, and so he can stack up Black Cleaver on the CLG front line pretty quickly. I think Xmithie's going to go full tank Rek'Sai, so I don't know if they're going to have enough damage if they want to go another full tank, unless Xmithie decides to alter his build and actually throw in something like the Titanic Hydra or the Black Cleaver into his own build. But as far as Xmithie goes, when he gets this champion, he's one of those Cinderhole junglers that will just commit to full tank and be the front line for the team, open up Darshan to be a damage-dealing champion from the top lane.
Ooh.
Hopefully for them, try and get some split push threat going.
Last minute swap back there from CLG. Stixxay will take Ezreal again, but Aphromoo can go away from the Nami this time. Had the Braum thought about it, and then just at the last second switched over to Bard, a big playmaking champion, maybe one that CLG can be a bit more proactive on, perhaps.
Yeah, people were banning Bard against Aphromoo. Top tier teams in the rest of the world were very scared of it, and it definitely opens up a lot of playmaking for CLG, especially if they can open up the map. Bard's so good at picking people off. There she is.
Yep, TSM do the obvious thing. They'll take Elise, they'll take Braum, and really showing nothing here. Still have the flex pick in that solo lane as well, so TSM have plenty of options to work with. CLG going to have to show the rest of their comp here, so TSM going to get a counter pick either mid lane or top.
Yeah.
Probably mid lane if I had to guess, but you never know.
I like this from TSM. You're threatening an assassin in the mid lane, so you make Huhi second guess himself. Bjergsen on an assassin, even if it is Ekko melee champion who would have to worry about jungle pressure. Still very threatening, gonna make you second guess yourself. You don't want Bjergsen, especially after the performance he had on Zilean. If you can do that with Zilean, what can he do with a full AP Ekko? So definitely a threatening flex pick here from TSM they're holding on to, and CLG are just gonna have to stand up and blind pick it.
10 seconds left or so for CLG to finish out this draft. What does Coach Zix have in mind? Because they need to finish off this draft. A very late pick for CLG, and Darshan goes back. Fiora, Vladimir are the
Not
pick.
only the Vladimir, that's extremely strong right now, and we've seen a lot of bans across the world with the champion. You know, because not only with the rework, but also the addition of the Proto belt enables him to have more mobility. But man, the Fiora lock-in as well. People have been saying, there's been whispers of Fiora's kind of back here with some decent top lane nerfs. And we'll see Darshan's Fiora once again. It was a terror back in the last split before Fiora got her round of nerfs.
Yep. Good to see her back though. Again, another season. Always interesting to see what champions make their way back around.
Yeah, also funny how CLG, we talked about, at MSI they showed a lot more versatility in their team fight style that they had been playing, and they've been playing tanks, and people were like, oh my goodness, they're not playing split push anymore. They're not playing
back to split push.
so much on the on the lane sauce. But yeah, back to split push here. They're going to have back-to-back games. We'll see if Darshan has better luck on this one, and it is going to be once again Viktor showing up here. This time it's going to be in the hands of Bjergsen. Hauntzer will take the top lane Ekko. I don't think Ekko's going to have too hard of a time with the Fiora. We'll see, though, because Fiora, if she gets some outplays early on the top lane, that can really snowball a lane.
Definitely a lot of telegraph CC on the top half of the map from TSM.
Can't QSS her ultimate off anymore.
That's true.
So,
Darshan, so happy.
It's one of the big things, why she's coming back.
Makes some sense there. Bjergsen, though, like you mentioned, will take the Viktor, so going to take this into Huhi this time. He's got Vladimir, very exciting new champion we've started to see kind of make the rounds in this new patch. We did expect the teams to start of, exploring a little bit more and playing more of these new picks. After a very standard game one, CLG say, you know what, that's not good enough. We have to play something a little different.
Yeah, plus I really like Vladimir just as a champion for Huhi. Because you can get a lot of survivability. He's encouraged to build health now with the rework of the passive, get even more value out of building health, plus the pool and the Zhonya's, who he's going to be in the middle of the team fight. Now he's going to have some invulnerabilities.
Well, we'll see what they can get some. But remember, you can weigh in on Twitter as well and let us know if you think CLG can win this one and send us to a decider. Update your votes with the hashtag TSMWin or hashtag CLGWin. As always, these two teams, so much fun to watch play.
Yeah. Especially Aphromoo Bard here, because they play the style that Bard wants to play into. It's CLG split pushing. Bard can pick people off in any lane as the enemy team's trying to move, from lane to lane. The problem we have for CLG is going to be, getting to that point. We saw last time TSM right out of the gates gaining advantages pretty much across the board. So my eyes are going to be on Svenskeren, on this Elise. See if he can make some plays. Rek'Sai is really good at countering the early Elise moves because of the Tremor Sense. And if you have vision of Elise, or you at least know where she is, makes her so much less threatening because she really does depend on landing that cocoon and getting off some burst early. Otherwise, she will get out-farmed.
And it feels like, understandably, TSM have changed very little with how they sort of put together this composition. DoubleLift back on the Lucian. Viktor feels like sort of a similar champion as Zillion as far as like more control mages, more wave clear going, and then Hauntzer on a very standard pick, and Svenskeren kind of took the best aggressive jungler left in the pool, given that Xmithie wanted the Rek'Sai after 3 jungle bans. I mean, TSM won game 1, there's no reason really to have to change things up. It is CLG that will force the change. They have done so. We'll see if they can impact enough here in game 2 to force us to a third.
All right, let's take a look. First set, will we get a best of 3? Will we get an actual 3 games? Best of 3, or is TSM just going to close the door on the defending champions here?
I believe the upper limit of games, according to the analyst desk for one team, is 54.
If every single one of your matches goes to 3 games.
Well, it has to start here. 54 games to dream. We'll see what happens. But TSM leading as we move out onto the rift for this second one. Great to see Darshan back on a pick like Fiora. Huhi going to be rocking that Vladimir in mid lane as well. But TSM really came to play in the first one.
He did indeed. Aphromoo trying to look for some early gold here. Procs the spell thieves. Darshan not hesitating to trade.
Very nice from Hauntzer, actually. Just dodging that vital. Xmithie and Huhi going to get some poke down onto Svenskeren. Bjergsen moving out as well, just looking for vision. They'll trade a few blows back and forth, but everyone's staying pretty healthy. And once again, Hauntzer baiting it in. Ooh, vital proc. Not quite the side that Darshan wanted.
Hauntzer's going to be fine, though. He's still got 30 seconds to get back to lane. That should be fine for him. He should get there almost right on time. Let's see if they do standard lanes. I'm very excited to see them match up once again. This time around with Bard Ezreal. A lot of potential for lasting poke to land there. and we'll see how Biofrost handles himself on a melee champion and Braum.
Talked about the regression though. Ignites for both supports this time. Bio was rocking it on the Karma last game.
Yeah, some very high potential for all-ins. With both
really?
These
These guys?
Braum Lucian, the classic. Very early triggering of the Braum stun passive. Ezreal and Bard, as we said, a lot of range to harass they can try and get down. And Aphromoo, we talk about flash moves. Hey, yo!
Hey,
Aphromoo's been one of the guys who loves to go early flashes on Bard to land the Cosmic Bindings and go with that Ignite to try and get an early kill, catch people off guard. See if they actually make it happen this time around, though.
We'll have to see, but it is going to be standard lanes once again. They actually managed to take a camp away, so it looks like they'll just keep that in front of themselves. But once again, have to think the aggression is there for TSM. Aphromoo and Stixxay already getting chunked out of it. Nice aggression there from the TSM bottom side, and I think DoubleLift might be back for another early level 2, and you said it already, all into the name of the game, especially for TSM's duos.
All right, also, I'm going to keep an eye on this Elise. Svenskeren has the option to go 3 camps from this red side and go up the top lane to try and gank. Darshan is pushing on the Fiora really hard. He's bullying Hauntzer.
Oh, very nice proposed there from Darshan.
Yeah, and the Elise has the opportunity to try and go up there. Her level 3 kit, that's all you need, but Svenskeren is going to leave Hauntzer on his own and head on through with the rest of the full clear. Xmithie here. This is something he's done so often. He goes straight for this early ward on the mid lane to try and give Huhi some more safety on the bottom side of the map. He can hover there. And Rek'Sai is also going to provide that tremor sense. So gets the Scuttle Crab as well, going for his early ward to provide some safety for both his mid and bottom lane. And then returns to complete his clear.
Have a look in the mid lane though. Bjergsen and Huhi battling out. Good shield there from Bjergsen, actually dodging some of that W damage. Seems to be in control of the matchup and up to date with all the mid lane mages that did receive so many changes moving into the summer season. In general though, it feels like Darshan back at home in a 1v1, although Hauntzer is currently leading in CS by a few.
Yeah, he shoved the lane up, so there's a bunch of CS here for Darshan to try and get at the turret, and he should catch back up to exactly even if he gets them all. He got them all.
He did it.
All right.
Well done.
Even up on that side, but teleport advantage for Darshan and CLG.
That's true. Hauntzer did use it already. Went back and got a Doran's Ring, I believe. Does have that corrupting potion from level 1 already. As once again, TSM's duo weren't able to quite get as much damage done this time around, but continuing to play up and aggressive wherever possible. Hauntzer looking to trade in, but the Vital proc's in there from Fiora. Going to cause Hauntzer a few issues, but looks to be again navigating a tricky matchup quite well once more.
All right, well, junglers are just pretty much continuing with the clear. Svenskeren actually walking over that early ward now from CLG in the top side. So they've been alerted to his presence, and Darshan takes the opportunity to start his recall, go back for his own purchase, and he's going really aggressively here, picking up another Doran's Blade for himself. Really wants to get a hold on this top side of the map. Try and get a split push threat built early on.
Even TP's his way back in, so definitely looking to outright win his lane this time around. Xmithie though, caught on his blue buff, and Hauntzer actually going to chase him down. Damage is massive there, and Hauntzer is going to force Xmithie to burrow away, and that blue buff could go over to TSM here. Darshan tries, but Svenskeren's already got it.
Second game in a row, TSM play high pressure in their mid, and this time in the top as well. Able to go for an invade once again. Svenskeren just chasing Xmithie out of his own jungle, and Hauntzer taking a bunch of his HP there.
Still keeping up as well in CS despite the early TP from Darshan, so looks like Hauntzer is getting the better of the early stages of these lanes in a lot of ways, but he's going to have to play carefully. He's back in the bottom. Stixxay and Aphro, much better start here. Nice binding there from Aphro, gets damage down, but they're able to play up nice and aggressive and just keep the lane pushed in.
Yeah, here's the poke from the double ranged here on CLG. You want to get them under turret first, then you can try and harass them while they're going for CS. So either they miss CS or they take a bunch of damage. All going according to plan here. Meanwhile, Bjergsen was a big part of that invade as well, enabling Svenskeren to make moves like that, not allowing Huhi to really collapse quickly. Either collapse or lose a lot of control.
Oof. These are pretty great fights to watch. Darshan with another nice riposte, and that Vital almost pops up in time for a bit of extra poke. You can see Hauntzer is going to have to chug that potion and try and get some health back, because Darshan maybe looking to get hyper aggressive here and at least force some summoners out of Hauntzer.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing really far up in the lane, and he's playing pretty aggressively, going for these trades. But you have to be careful, because there's a balance between going for the trades and actually securing CS. Nice binding there! Aphromoo denies Biofrost all in.
Yep. Svenskeren even there as well, so CLG shut that down very quickly. DoubleLift will not be getting first blood this time around. Another good binding actually keeps the poke down onto Biofrost. This wave might even get pulled back. CLG looking very healthy here, and TSM just say, all right, I guess we have to go back now because that completely flopped in bottom lane.
Yep, gonna be able to regain control. Everybody's just gonna go right back to farming here. All right, so this is actually decent for CLG, avoiding, you know, early ganks from Elise. But as far as the CS goes, pretty even across the board. Only a few strength difference between the leagues.
Xmithie in that top lane, no. Hauntzer actually used his ulti to get back to lane because he didn't have teleport. It's one of the nice benefits of playing Ekko in a solo lane. Huhi actually coming up as well. Though this could be a dive, but Xmithie spotted by a pink ward. That's going to cause Huhi back towards that mid lane.
Yeah.
But nice to see him being a bit more active. Vladimir, not really well known as a roam champion, but if Huhi could get out of the lane, something he couldn't do in game number 1.
Yeah, exactly. You could see what CLG are thinking there. You know what? He's using his ultimate to get back to the lane. We should try and dive him because he won't have that extra survivability under there. But pink ward's already in place, so that kind of foils the whole plan, and Huhi cancels his roam. Able to CS under turret as well quite effectively. So he's doing a lot better this time around. He's built early magic resistance as well. So with that cowl regeneration and the sustain of Vladimir, it should be very difficult for Bjergsen to apply the same kind of pressure that he applied last game. Also, so hard to dive Vladimir, right? Especially in the mid lane. So Huhi, this is a good champion for him. He's just wants to be an immovable farming object in the mid lane right now for them, and let Darshan be the one who's really trying to apply pressure for the squad.
And pressure he's applying, but Hauntzer again still taking good trades and keeping up in CS despite Darshan trying to play into him as much as possible. That sheen that he got certainly helping there as Svenskeren. Xmithie, we're going to meet once again, but Xmithie spots him with the Tremor Sense. Svenskeren, though, looking to start a fight pretty much any time he's in the enemy jungle.
Yeah, looking for the invade here. Bjergsen heads down as well. Post level 6 mid laners, you really have to give a lot of respect to the Viktor combo. Ooh. Xmithie doesn't respect it though, goes in, tries for the secure, but Svenskeren's got smite, so makes that pretty difficult to do.
Yep, got the red buff and almost took him out. Xmithie forced to burrow back towards the Krugs, but he'll keep himself safe for now, and first blood still eluding both these sides. Is Xmithie actually going to take this down? Svenskeren though in the area. Volatile Spyland's going to catch in. Going to swap in after the cocoon. Bites down, but Xmithie maybe just able to tunnel out. Collapses that one. Doesn't really want to go too deep, and CLG are collapsing. The teleport's here, but there's the answer from TSM. Darshan instant ulti down as everyone's coming in. Hauntzer actually in the middle of it all, but a huge off from Bjergsen's going to move it all in. Hauntzer now chasing down. He gets the first spot onto Darshan. Huhi now going to get caught out and take the magical journey to safety, but TSM react better once again.
Yeah, Xmithie tried to bait a little bit there, but TSM just collapsed quicker. Bjergsen is right there, and then CLG fight on the gravity field. They're able to take down Darshan. He uses all summoner spells and his ultimate. That's going to be the Earth Dragon as well for them. And that makes it a lot easier because every objective is still available on the map. Going to get a lot of value out of this one.
Yep, good dragon again. They'll pick it up. As Aphromoo going to get chased out again. Biofrost puts up the shield. Stixxay. Nice arcane chip out from under the Winter's Bite. The TSM will once again claim a dragon.
Okay, so CLG, they're going to play from behind again. They're going to have to work on their defensive play. Try and defensively ward and be able to react better than that last invade.
Nice play from TSM on their side though. Again, impressed that they used the general roaming. Good teleport from Hauntzer gets him in there. Bjergsen actually has the ghost, which I didn't know earlier, but it would be pretty mobile. That did also get changed among the many things that got changed in this patch.
So nice, especially for a lot of junglers. Definitely underrated. 30 seconds off the cooldown for Ghost has started to show up at least. On some champions beside like Hecarim, who is one of the only champions that used Ghost before. Just because Flash is so valuable. Now, decent amount of junglers trying to use it. Just because you can go burn the Flash cooldown of enemy laners and then return much quicker than they can.
Fully buff over to Bjergsen now, so we will have a check back in with Huhi and friends. Looks like Bjergsen actually up pretty significant amount of CS, but Huhi going to stay in lane and try and get what he can. Bjergsen might look to back, but doesn't just yet. Going to keep the lane pressure up for now. Looks like Huhi, I think that's Spirit Visage first actually, with that Kindle Gem in his inventory, but it could be just about anything.
And yeah, as we said, after the rework, Vladimir encouraged even more to build health. And with the Spirit Visage early, going to be very, very difficult for the TSM squad to kill us. In lane phase, it's a Viktor and Elise, all magic damage. You know, even if the top laner comes down and tries to take you out, Hauntzer's got mostly magic damage now. Does have the team.
Hauntzer's doing work in that top lane as well. Once again taking winning trades as Bjergsen's actually made his way up to the top lane. This is a pretty creative dive squad, but Darshan does not have his riposte up. Bjergsen gonna ghost in, they're going for the dive. Does pop the ulti, but the ulti's down for Viktor, and that should be enough for Bjergsen to collect himself a kill as Hauntzer. Oh, does drop turret aggro.
Yep, no teleport from Huhi, able to try and answer, so
Oh,
the Braum
Stixxay.
looking for it. Will that even kill?
I'm not
it
sure.
hits?
We're gonna find out. It hits him!
Oh,
Does
it
not
did
kill.
Close though, and he did land it, so pretty good shot, but Hauntzer brushes that one off and recalls easily.
Ooh, just cocoon there for Sven, but he still goes for the fight. Knocked
Nice
up there
dodge.
from the Unburrow. Xmithie's just gonna do damage. Huhi goes in, pops down the ulti. And I don't think that Elise can really go anywhere. Sven gonna get burnt out. Huhi gonna get himself a kill.
There we go. Huhi actually has a pretty good collapse there, but it's just a drop in the book at TSM, still with a very substantial lead. Huhi finally makes a move for himself though, and charges up the E fully. You get that slow on it and flashes in there to try and land it. Svenskeren gets punished, but still feeling very confident about their position in this game.
And really punished for the first time in the series for invading aggressively. Aphromoo, good dodge. Takes the magical journey back to the lane and makes sure Stixxay is safe. He does have that Manamune building up now, so kind of happy to sit around Aphromoo again. Just being annoying more than anything else. But keeping up nicely here this time. DoubleLift has not had the same snowball in that lane this time. And look at Xmithie actually now starting to invade, but Sven's going to spot him. Not in time though. Sneaks away the red buffer. Sven's going to chase him. Oh! Buffered tunnel. Sven wants it, but I don't think he's going to be able to chase him there.
So close there, actually. Barely missing the cocoon. Biofrost is getting very low.
That's aggressive. He gets
Dead,
ignited.
dude.
He flashes. The heal might not be enough. DoubleLift's going to try and turn things around, but he's going to get stunned up as well. DoubleLift still going to try and turn it out. Does flash out of the way, but Stixxay flashes in and nails him with a Q.
Whoa! The outplays on bottom lane even up. And Bjergsen wants to come reclaim those kills. It looks like he might be able to get in position to do it. He's got flash still.
He's got the ulti as well. This is going to do damage, but CLG will defensively TP in. Bjergsen
Oh
got caught by
my.
the Tempest bait, and they'll ride the magical journey in. Good flash there from Bjergsen, gets him out, but the slow lands in. Bjergsen, though, able to get the Q move speed and run away.
Ooh, they almost turned that one around. Teleport there. Okay, so Xmithie's going to get right back out. Do CLG want to pressure now? They've had a pretty decent swing here. This is going to be them almost evening the game right back up.
Darshan and Hauntzer still at it, but Hauntzer again winning his trades in the 1v1. He's up so much CS in this lane as well. Hauntzer's going in, looking for the dive in. Darshan pops the ulti defensively. Almost gets all the vitals. Hauntzer actually forced to back out of that dive.
He's got the ultimate advantage now, though, so some more damage on this turret, some more minions denied from Darshan, and once again, Hauntzer is crushing Darshan in this matchup. Ekko, huge lead for themselves. CLG keep picking champions for Darshan to try and become a split push threat, but he's not going to get there. Behind in lane once again. Let's take another look at this. Binding from Aphromoo starts it out, and then Biofrost just goes super aggro here. Gets ignited so the heal doesn't get full effectiveness. The Thunderlords took him down, and another Cosmic Binding from Aphromoo. He makes it seem like a targeted ability here. Then Stixxay goes in, flash Q. Able to take that one. Bjergsen tries to clean it up, as we know, but CLG turned that one around.
Yep. Bjergsen doesn't go down, but he's sort of forced to use some summoners and back away. And CLG actually sort of turned things around. Still behind in gold. TSM up a dragon and 1,500 gold so far. But 15 minutes in game number 1 was a whole lot worse in this particular game. So CLG has done a great job holding on. And I think most importantly, not letting DoubleLift start snowballing his lane again.
Yeah, I mean, they were able to outplay him in the bottom lane, but DoubleLift still has strong CS and he's got his Ghost Blade built. So he has that flat armor penetration, still very formidable force. And TSM still do have the lead. They're making a pretty good...
Yeah, Hauntzer's in actually. Aphromoo going to get locked up here. Ulti's out, but Stixxay's getting chased down by Hauntzer. Hauntzer should just be able to clean that one up, and he's actually going to get greedy. Darshan, though, takes out DoubleLift on the other end as Huhi takes out Bjergsen in rotation. Hauntzer actually still fighting around, but forced to burn the ulti. And Stixxay somehow still alive. Hauntzer going to look to chase in. Will finally get shut down by the phase dive, but Aphromoo stuns up the Ekko. Hauntzer going to go down here as well. And the ulti almost getting in there as Xmithie takes out Hauntzer. CLG just outplayed the crap out of TSM.
They're climbing right back into this one, and there's a dragon available this time if they want to go for it, but they're chasing under the turret.
Very aggressive, looking for a dive. Biofrost puts up the door. Svenskeren will back out as well. A 3-for-2 trade overall. CLG come out on top.
Yeah, I think CLG should just take jungle and try and get... Well, maybe they won't even have enough time for Dragon now. Huhi's going to try and zone for this blue buff steal, though.
Does zone away. Looks like blue went over to Aphromoo, I think. No, Huhi did get it. Excuse me. So
yeah, it'll be a little bit overreaching to try and go for the Dragon now. TSM are respawning after that, so CLG, they're making a couple steps right back into this game. Gold right back within striking distance, but after leaving the map, it looks like TSM are going to be the ones to grab it, and that is Infernal Drake. The prize Drake. Can Xmithie get in there for a steal? It might be a suicide, but he's trying to scare him.
Doesn't have smite, but he will try and scare them away, and that almost is enough, I think. TSM, not enough vision to try and commit for it. Huhi zones them off, and CLG might have enough time to
It's still low, and CLG wow. right back in, so TSM soften it up for him, and CLG gonna Drake the Dragon.
So Ocean Drake will be up after that, so traded one Dragon apiece. TSM with the Earth Dragon. CLG gonna collect themselves an Infernal. TSM, if they had, you know, perfect information, probably able to take that one down, but CLG starting to play definitely more on the front foot here. Able to clean that one out, and again, keep the game nice and even. Not out of control this time around, although we've had a very long laning phase.
True enough. Standard lanes, and only the top turret went down. Let's take another look at this. DoubleLift gets knocked with the Cosmic Binding, allowing Stixxay to land almost the full combo there, but Darshan finishes him off in the dive, as we saw, and then tries to exit from the top side. It's going to get taken down by Svenskeren up there for the answer. CLG actually clean up a lot more kills here. Stixxay almost going to get out, but man, Hauntzer flashing there. Another Cosmic Binding from Aphromoo. His Bard has been so good for CLG.
That's the reason it's been banned an awful lot over at MSI. He's a very, very proficient Bard player. CLG get themselves some much-needed kills, and I think Darshan going to feel a bit better about the lane, despite the fact that Hauntzer is still quite far ahead. 40 CS up with the Senpai finish, but Darshan will get stronger as the game goes on. CLG again, happy to be in this spot given what happened in the first game.
Definitely. It's a new position for Darshan to be in. Like, he's not really used to being the weak link on the team, but right now he is the weak spot for CLG, and something that TSM want to try and take an advantage of. With Hauntzer having a 2-level lead in addition to all the gold he has over Fiora. As of right now, CLG having him just farm in this top lane right there. They've got the tower down, so they're trying to get Darshan some CS. That means that the rest of their team needs to play a bit safer. So we probably won't see all-ins here from the duo lane. Huhi, we talked about how easy it is for Vladimir to play safe in the mid lane. And Xmithie just continues to ward with the Rek'Sai on jungle. Xmithie's basically a walking radar that tries to put down wards and delay the enemy team. Right now he does get caught on his warding mission, but it's not going to be big deal for him, and he's able to heal up with the passive.
And again, going full tank, so very tanky on the Rek'Sai. Getting caught doesn't cost him too much. There is Huhi starting to bully perhaps as Hauntzer, though. He's going to dive his way in. 3v1 right now for Huhi, but he doesn't dodge the Cocoon. Xmithie, though, going to stand and fight as Aphromoo's in there. Svenskeren going to get chunked down, and that Hemoplex should be enough. Aphro able to take him down, but Hauntzer still chasing in. Now Biofrost moving in onto Huhi as they will get the stun down. Damage is good. They'll chain the CC, but Huhi is so tanky and does not fall.
That Bard damage and Ignite from Aphromoo. They actually get a kill for CLG and they're collapsing.
Stixxay's here, ulti's cool, but it's not enough to take out Hauntzer. TSM will live, but Darshan does answer with a structure in top lane.
He's very happy that he doesn't have to play against anybody here. The rest of CLG are doing the work. This is a split push CLG, but it's the 4-man part of the split push that are gaining the map advantage and letting their one split pusher get back into the game. Darshan cleans up some minions, does get the tower gold for the team, and he's very happy for that experience as well. Still 2 levels down to Hauntzer, though.
You can start to see some of the issues perhaps in mid lane as DoubleLift will clean this out as best he can. Because Huhi did not have the Zhonya's when that last fight started, and he still didn't die. 2-item Vlad looking awfully strong.
Yes, Zhonya's completed for him now. He's got a lot of playmaking ability. We talked about how Huhi likes to play those team fights, zoning for Stixxay, trying to open up opportunities for Stixxay to have high AD carry uptime, constantly getting out DPS. And with the Zhonyas, with the Spirit Visage, Huhi's just a menace, trying to disrupt inside the middle of the team fight and absorb a lot of cooldowns from the enemy team, plus dealing a lot of damage while he's at it.
Well, you can definitely see CLG collapsing well there to actually get themselves the lead, if ever so slight, here in this second game here. They're 500 gold up now on TSM. This Hauntzer once more fight Darshan, but the ulti's out. Riposte has been used already. Svenskeren here, though, to try and Imbalance this one, 1v2, can Darshan get out? He's gonna keep moving in, but Hauntzer's able to take it.
Hauntzer is playing this Ekko so well, and they're not done yet.
Yes.
Huhi moves in for the 1 versus 2, and Aphromoo can find Sven.
This is the problem, Afro's in there, binding doesn't land, but Sven gonna get taken out regardless.
There's that map mobility of Bard that we talked about. Aphro gets up there, and again, the Bard for CLG comes up huge. I was just about to commend Hauntzer for his Ekko play there. He did something really sneaky because Darshan can see the timing when the parallel convergence is gonna land. He actually moves out of his own parallel convergence so he doesn't stun Darshan when the riposte is up and moves back in after it's done so that they're able to get that kill.
Well, Mind Game's certainly strong with Hauntzer, and he's had a fantastic lane so far. It's 55 CS ahead, looking to knock down this turret. The Iceborne Gauntlet should make short work of it. And
CLG pull ahead with that play for a very short amount of time. Darshan looking to even it up now, though, as he said.
Good luck chasing Ekko. Wanted to stick the turret and gets away, but blue buff will get stolen and given over to Xmithie. Looks like CLG want to open the map up a bit. Huhi here, going to proxy this wave up, and should be an easy turret take for CLG. Again, we've had a long laning phase here, 22 minutes in.
Yep.
And now finally a 4th turret will fall. CLG going to even that score at 2-2.
Quite an exciting second game of the series, I had to say. You know, after DoubleLift had a good performance last game, now at his old partner, Aphromoo, is looking like he wants to make an MVP appearance here, player of the game, if you will, because, man, this Bard is doing a lot of work for them. 3-0-3 sitting right now. Highest kill participation of anyone.
Certainly on track. It looks like Stixxay also powering up. In general, CLG getting themselves into a much comfier position, and Darshan, again, he is scaling. Still behind Hauntzer, but should be okay as things move through, and drag him back up in 5 seconds. It is the Ocean Drake. See if these two teams do want to fight for it. In fact, Xmithie's already ulted into the pit.
Yep, CLG setting up for it really early here. They have a lot of vision as well. It's not just that they have everyone here, but they've got a lot of wards sort of moving up into that blue quadrant of the jungle and true sight for themselves, so they're going to start off this dragon.
Yep, Huhi actually tanking it up, but TSM I think would rather trade a turret.
Yeah, Darshan has teleport. He's really far away. He's taking the blue buff right now, so it's just going to be a mid turret there. TSM opt to trade for that Ocean Drake.
Good binding from Aphro, but no follow-up there for CLG. Ulti, though, it should be enough. Biofrost is going to get ultied up there. Svenskeren in the front line trying to do something. Hauntzer actually going to dive back in straight onto Stixxay. Dragon's still available, and Xmithie's going to dive in for a Hauntzer. Pops the ulti back in, a DoubleLift's able to take out the Rek'Sai.
Whoa! CLG don't finish the Drake, and they actually go in for the team fight. CLG opt into that. They tried to catch TSM while they were moving over, and then Xmithie, someone makes the call for him to engage. He's extremely low, and they go down. Can they clean up the Drake afterwards, though?
Still tanking it. TSM actually going to TP back in as Hauntzer's going to make his way down with full out and homes out. Huhi caught up there by a stun. Does pop the Zhonya's, and the rest of CLG may be able to collapse. Cosmic Binding is going to miss as Darshan looks to try and take him out. Riposte is good, and he's going to continue to be chased as DoubleLift wants to play cleanup. Has to be careful. Gets stunned over the wall. Huhi flashes in to try and take him out, but does not get him. Bjergsen takes him out, and DoubleLift somehow lives.
Everyone on TSM survives that. What a big blooper from CLG. The calls right there. Oh, but they combine Svenskeren, they're not done yet!
And dead, they're not done at all. Stixxay getting chopped, but he gets himself a double kill.
Oh my goodness.
Aphro just gets out as well, but Hauntzer is going to shut that down. Xmithie now back in with the ult. He's going to try and get it done. Aphromoo double binding there. The damage is massive, but they're going to try and keep chasing. Aphro barely lives on the back end of Time Winder. And Bjergsen, you have to run, but he gets knocked up. That should be enough, and Darshan takes him out.
It's a bloodbath, Pastry. It's not even done yet. Now they're going to go back to the dragon, the scene of the crime. It's CLG in the end. Looks like they will be able to claim that Ocean Drake after all of that.
They
madness.
deserve it.
Okay, so this is about halfway through the shenanigans. Huhi's going to be the one to start it off because he's got the Zhonya's. Tries to group up all of TSM for the re-engage here from CLG. This is a 4 vs 5 re-engage, by the way, remember. And they're going to try and take down DoubleLift here. Aphromoo does get the Cosmic Binding before the flash. And then Huhi flashes in to try and finish him off, sacrificing his life. And at this point, you think, oh, TSM have gotten away with murder. But Stixxay follows this one up. He goes in with the Ezreal, gets the flash auto for that kill, and then gets the kill onto DoubleLift as well. Arcane Shift right into his face.
Clean up on the back end, though, as it did last for quite a while. But in the end, just a lot of trades back and forth here. And the gold, again, still pretty much even. CLG up by 500 gold for now, but...
Yeah, this is a scrappy one.
Yeah, very much so. 19 kills in 26 minutes. This is more the pace I'm used to.
Yeah, all right. Are you looking forward to a possibility of a third game here? Hauntzer doesn't want to let them have a third game, though. He's going hard on Huhi.
He's massive right now on the Ekko, and Hui's actually struggling to try and get away.
The most annoying thing about Ekko is that you can't get away from him either with the constant applications of the passive. This continues the beatdown.
Yep, and the stun is going to land as well. Even the ulti burn by Huhi to try and live. Vladimir has so much healing, and Xmithie maybe can turn the tides, he will, but Hauntzer is a menace.
Can't get away from him, but Vladimir can sustain for long enough for our reinforcements to arrive, and Xmithie escorts Huhi away. We're able to get out of there. No more blood will be shed quite yet.
Well, don't hold your breath for too long, because I don't think these teams are letting up. Map's really opened up now as TSM have claimed 3 turrets to CLG's 2, but the Baron in play now, 27 minutes in. And of course, there are Dragons coming back as well. So, again, a much more even game than the first one.
Yeah.
See which team can break it open.
So interesting how these play out when the split push champion for CLG does not get an early lead and they don't get to try and utilize that in the mid game. TSM here are going to claim their last outer turret. So now they can try and start pushing up the ward line. As of right now, they've got a really nice pink ward line straight down the river. Controlling that pretty effectively with their true sight. They really have to watch out, though, for the cross-map plays of Aphromoo on this Bard. He has yet to die. He's been the one picking people off. He does it again. The Ignite from Aphro claims another. That's 4 kills on the Bard.
He's actually going after DoubleLift as well. He's going to eat a face full of culling, though, for it, as DoubleLift does get himself out. Did not get tagged by the Tempered Fate, but Aphro will not be stopped today.
Oh, my goodness. He's stacking up a kill streak for himself on the support as well. All right, let's see
a valuable bud.
How they close it in, because Svenskeren off the table here for TSM, so they're just going to try and hold. Darshan definitely doesn't want to go for any sort of dive. They don't have much vision. Xmithie's in the area, but he's mainly just protecting, looking for TSM members.
And Huhi actually is committing to split push, it seems like. We saw that Hauntzer was able to shove him out of the lane, but it's really hard to kill the Vlad at this point. Looks like they actually might go back in for it, but DoubleLift gets himself out from under knockup range. Maybe now going to turn things around. Xmithie taking damage, but there's the ulti out of Darshan. Great ulti from Biofrost, though. And Darshan's very squishy. TSM are going to move in for it. Hauntzer takes out Darshan again.
And now they're going to be on the chase. Huhi doesn't have teleport. He canceled it.
It followed it. The Arcane Shift moved in after phase dive, and Stixxay has to run. Aphromoo sets up the portal, but Bjergsen's here. Hauntzer takes out the Ezreal, and Xmithie going to get stunned up as well. Svenskeren claims that one, and Hauntzer rampaging through CLG, gonna try and finally slay Aphromoo.
Can he claim?
Gonna keep running. Aphro, I don't think he's getting out of this one, but maybe he flashes. Hauntzer wants it, and he's actually gonna get away.
Aphro lives. Okay, so if we do collect ourselves after that, there was a Huhi teleport, but I think he canceled it when they saw they were losing the fight to begin with. And once Darshan went down, CLG decided to cut their losses, and they actually trade a turret for that. So not the very worst that it could have been, but a pretty big pickup there for TSM, as after the fact, they're able to pick that Baron buff up for themselves, and that is going to be a huge part in taking this game from one stage here where they're having constant team fights everywhere, and people are kind of running around. But okay, so let's actually keep a track of when the exact timer for the teleport toward channel, because the first one that comes in is Hauntzer's, and then Huhi comes to try and answer. But you see there, once Darshan dies, immediate cancel there. You know what? We're gonna at least try and salvage a turret out of this one. But TSM clean up so much. Hauntzer here is just on a rampage with this Ekko, keeps up the chase. They take down the Ezreal. Xmithie's going to be left for the rest of the team to deal with. And the 4-man squad goes for the Baron. That's why they have right now. He was off screen, but they easily take that one down while Hauntzer keeps up the chase. And CLG just get one turret for it.
Yep. I mean, definitely a strong play there from TSM. Good ult there from Aphro, but I don't think there's follow-up here. Huhi wants it. Xmithie diving in as a Human Flake down onto 2. Biofrost taking damage in the front line, but DoubleLift dishing it out. Svenskeren does go down on Darshan. He's actually made his way in. Bjergsen is going to fall down, and Fiora ulti will pop as Huhi does give chase. Hauntzer a little late to the fight now, and CLG turn back around for 2.
The team fight, and we talked about CLG put in a lot of work heading into MSI, and this time around they make it work out right here. Aphromoo starts it off. See if they can actually take down the turret afterwards. Hauntzer, yeah, not even going to sit up around. But man, CLG, great collapse there. We talked about Huhi running, being the point man for this squad as far as the team fight. He runs right in there on Vladimir.
Whoa! Hauntzer wants in, goes for and gets the stun down. Forced the ulti out, but the turret's still dealing some damage here. CLG though, real tanky on the front end of this one, but might have to back away. Hauntzer and Biofrost a little too threatening with the turret there.
Yeah. One of the reasons a lot of people have been banning this Vladimir. Huge team fight presence, and Darshan comes in a bit later with the flank on Fiora after everybody on TSM have been trying to use their cooldowns for survival. Perfect opportunity for Fiora, trying to come in and clean up with some extra damage. Ooh. What TSM trying to do with this Mountain Drake though, because they do have almost everybody except for the 2 damage dealers.
Yep.
Bjergsen and DoubleLift not quite there, so it's going to take a while to go down.
They teleport in though. Aphro's also in the area with ultimate, but that TP is going to be finished. Huhi just straight into the front lines here as TSM going to look to try and turn it around. Hauntzer, good damage out on the front side, but Xmithie going to knock him up. Hauntzer maybe taking a little too much here. Dragon actually still going for TSM as well.
I thought we were going to transition out of this phase of the game, but it's not true!
Oh, Aphro, good ulti though to the bottom. Huhi still taking forward, does not pull out of the way, and CLG do claim the Dragon. Darshan in the front side as ultis are traded. TSM will stay alive for now, but CLG did get the Dragon.
All right, I mean, design team wanted more team fights. Implement the new Dragons, they get more team fights, baby. Constant battling here, and even after that, it feels kind of like CLG have a handle on this game. They're still behind in gold, even though it's such a slight amount. TSM are still capable of taking one of these. It's all about the setup, though. And so often, the setup has been determined by Aphromoo in an advantageous way for CLG to start off the team fight. And once they've been able to get that early footing, it's been hard for TSM to regroup here.
Certainly has, but good news for both teams this time is that the game is still very close. Only 1,000 gold up for TSM, which at this stage of the game, almost 33 minutes in, is pretty much nothing. CLG will have the Dragon advantage, but Elder Dragon actually will make an appearance in the NA LCS for the first time this summer. Didn't get to see him last game.
Yeah, and as you can see with the updated graphic there, under CLG, 3 Dragons. Only missing the air one. Wah, wah, too bad. We don't have a... I'm sure they're not too sad about that, but the Earth Dragon is the only one TSM have. So if that Elder Dragon does come up in a minute and a half or so, it's going to have a big priority for CLG. Oh, Aphro gets caught!
Oh no, could he die for the first time? He does! Gets shut down there by Svenskeren, but Bjergsen actually getting taken out on the other side. Shields are there though, and he still lives somehow through that all. As Hauntzer is wreaking havoc in the backside. DoubleLift able to take that next one out, and TSM, they're going to turn things around. Huhi stunned up there.
What a swing for TSM here. Aphro makes the rare mistake, and it's going to cost them.
Huhi going to die there as well. Finally goes down after all that healing. And TSM, they claim 3 lives. They'll get the turret and continue chugging down bottom lane.
Oh yeah, they're going to keep pressuring here. They lost nobody in that team fight. Aphromoo went down before anything happened. So CLG trying to salvage things with a 4 versus 5 there, but they just lose 2 more, and TSM take the inhibitor.
Svenskeren on point, as always, with the cocoons, and TSM are going to break that bottom half of the map. CLG going to struggle to maybe fight for Elder Dragon, which is actually interesting, because this normally doesn't work this way.
A back and forth game, Pastry. We just talked about setting up the importance of this Elder Dragon for CLG. Losing their bottom inhibitor is very big, because that's going to have a constant stream of minions for TSM that give them some extra vision, even if TSM's wards time out, if CLG start clearing them. Yeah, so Aphromoo right there, he's walking up. He had his own pink ward, but man, face checks, gets cocooned, and then Bjergsen surviving here with shields on shields and the heal as well going off to keep him upright. Remember, that's a full tank Rek'Sai, so Xmithie's got very little hope of even finishing off someone that low health, and then after that, it's very easy for TSM to continue the chase. Good stuns there from Braum, able to continue that one, and huge momentum swing here. TSM pull out not only to a map lead with that inhibitor going out, but also the gold lead here. Pretty heavy in their favor.
Baron, of course, will be back up in just about 55 seconds, so TSM can also use that bottom half pressure to try and get that for themselves. Right now, they're just trying to demolish some turrets. That'll be the 7th one of the game for TSM, as these tier 2s are all dead now. CLG going to have to play defense for a while.
Yep. They're going to have to try and hold on here and see if TSM actually decide to set up for Baron or look for some picks here, because they do have Braum and Elise. You know, we just saw what Aphromoo did. That also works if TSM can get brush control.
Right now, setting up for it.
Yeah.
TSM just hanging around the Baron area. Cleaned out all the vision. Once again, hanging out in the bush, seeing if someone takes the bait.
Yeah, I think CLG smell this one, though. They've got a Rek'Sai, so they should actually have Xmithie burrowed more because now TSM aren't moving. Oh, he doesn't check the right bush.
Oh, no, Aphro does not get snagged by Cocoon, though, and that's going to give it up. Now Xmithie can see them all moving out of the brush, so safe for now.
Yeah, TSM going to abort that plan as they see Darshan moving up to the turret, so they were just using a little bit of time while Darshan was safely in vision and not hitting their inhibitor. Try and go for that play, but now they have to send Hauntzer back to go answer that push. And CLG actually bought a lot of time there, pushing that bottom lane up so far. It's going to take a while for those supers to work back down and pressure so that TSM can try and use the bottom inhibitor plus the Baron as a tug of war, make CLG make a tough decision and try and force them into face checking one of those Elise cocoons into the Braum chain stuns.
Well, TSM, we saw them set up for Baron quite well in game number 1, but you can see just how topsy-turvy this game has been. TSM now back out to a golden. It's actually a pretty significant one. It's the biggest one in this particular game so far.
Yep. But
Baron is alive. Elder Dragon's going to be up in a minute 5. These next few minutes are crucial.
Yeah. They also have Aphromoo completed that banner of command, so if they can hold out and get the inhibitor to respond, this banner is doing a little bit to help. But here comes the teleport. Hauntzer's going in.
Stixxay's the target. Hauntzer going to dive in for it. Gets the phase dive in again. And it's going to chase him down. Aphro's going to piece him out. Hauntzer thinks about it. Does not take the journey.
Yeah, very necessary flash there from Stixxay. He is able to survive, but TSM moving up towards that Baron. And Darshan is trying to deal with that minion wave down bottom.
Yeah, Huhi is super late. Darshan going to channel that TP, but TSM might have claimed the Baron already. It's awfully low. Darshan's in for it. Svenskeren does secure it. Now Xmithie may be caught in the front side. Tempered Fade in there, but Huhi going to dive in and pop the zombies. Xmithie going way too aggressive. He should get taken down as DoubleLift is able to claim him. Biofrost in the backside, though. He's getting chased down, but he is going to live. Hauntzer unstoppable now as he takes out Darshan. Stixxay gets popped as well.
Hauntzer, the hero for TSM.
Still chasing as well. Huhi is going to dodge out of that Winter's Bite, but the gravity field's down. They're going to try and turn this around. So much healing onto Huhi. Aphromoo actually takes a bio on the other side as well. Hauntzer going off. He's going to take out one more on Aphro. He's going to try and live, and Hauntzer says, I don't think so. Gets stunned against the wall, but he's going to keep chasing. Aphromoo is the last one alive. Good stun again.
Oh my God!
Hauntzer somehow lives, and now he's dead. There's the ace for TSM.
Oh my goodness, what a finish. TSM are going to clean up the series 2-0 to start off this split.
Really well played for TSM, and they send the message. DoubleLift gets his wish to start the season, and they will clean it up 2-0. TSM showing up in both games there.
They take down the defending champions. First game, very convincing. Second one, a lot more fighting back and forth in that mid game, but TSM win the one that counts and take it home. Hauntzer was just an absolute monster for TSM in both games this series. Up on the top side, ends this one max level 18 along with Bjergsen, but man, 9-1-7 on the Ekko.
In some ways, feels like he beat Darshan at his own game in almost 2 games actually. Had the Maokai into the trundle for game 1, handled the matchup relatively well after Darshan's early TP, and then Fiora, a really big split pusher and duelist, into an Ekko. And Hauntzer just honestly manhandles Darshan a bit there.
Yeah, and he was so crucial in their team fights as well. Zoning with that parallel convergence got off a couple of really big stuns. And TSM, very happy with the way they're starting. Biofrost there, undefeated in the LCS.
And a pretty good showing for the new kid there as well, I have to say. Biofrost looking awfully strong in both games there. 2 very different champions, Karma in game 1, Braum, again, kind of standard stuff, but Biofrost certainly looks like he's already built that synergy with both DoubleLift and his team. He was protecting his carries excellently well. When your carries are this good and these 2 men on your screen, that's probably a good place to be.
Yeah, they only had that one hiccup in the bottom lane. They did get killed by Stixxay and Aphro in the 2 versus 2. But man, yeah, overall, pretty good first showing for him.
Aphro was so close to having a flawless game on Bite as well, but unfortunately it all fell down towards the end.
Aphro was doing everything he possibly could to help CLG, but wasn't enough in the end.
No, unfortunately not. And again, TSM get what they want. They always want to beat CLG. They happen to beat them twice in a row. And unfortunately, we will not get a 3rd game there for that series, but such impressive play from the side.
Yeah, they get a little bit of vengeance there for last split in the finals. I don't know if it's going to do too much.
Probably not. Probably still
but yeah. First series is going to go over to TSM. Congratulations to them and some pretty strong flexibility from